college stars opting out of the college football season. This is a story that is going to get interesting because I believe one high-profile player did it in college football, and everybody was like, okay, it's starting to begin. And then everybody was assuming that the floodgates would open, and now we're at the point where it does feel that way. You got like 7 players right now who have opted out. You got Jamar Chase, the nation's top wide receiver, expected to be a first-round draft pick. He has opted out of this season to prepare for the NFL draft. Pitch Jalen Twyman, Memphis running back Kenneth Gainwell, who was a potential Heisman candidate last year. Shout out to Memphis. Miami Hurricanes defensive end, Purdue wide receiver Caleb Farley opts out. Then you also have Penn State linebacker Micah Parsons. You got a lot of these players opting out, which is very interesting. They're opting out so that they can sign with agents and that they can perform and not be asked to be a practice and all that other shit, and you got it. This is interesting because if these guys have success in the draft and they all get drafted high, they run fast 40s, they seem to be ahead of the curve whenever it comes to NFL philosophies and offenses and all that shit like Bosa did a couple years ago when he got hurt and decided to just sit out the rest of the year. If this is a success story for these guys, guess what's going to become the norm? This right here. So you're going to see a lot of guys that are going to forego their senior seasons in lieu of injury or anything like that in the film that they already have on film to prepare to get paid and ultimately reach their biggest dream, which is the NFL. Because you got to remember, back in the day, it was not that normal for players to sit out of their bowl games. Okay, bowl games, whenever players would sit out of the bowl games, it was considered a big deal. Like, oh, he's sitting out of the bowl game. That selfish guy doesn't want to be with his team, but he's preparing for the NFL, so it's business. That was only like 5-6 years ago. Now it has become a very regular thing. If you even have a chance of going to the NFL, you're sitting out of the bowl game. Unless it's for a national championship or some massive deal. All the other toilet bowls that happen, they are sitting out of it in lieu of injury. I think if the senior season becomes something that people start skipping out on, that'll be very intriguing. Now, this could be just because of the situation we're currently in, where maybe they don't want to have to go through all the protocols of getting tested every single day and not being able to do this, having to stay in their dorm room all by themselves while going to class. And maybe they're just opting out of that and saying, you know what, I don't want to deal with all this bullshit. I just kind of want to go do my thing. But if this works out for them, look for more players to think about it. If they maybe get an injury early, like Bosa did, maybe a hamstring, maybe a class that they're going to fail, or like, just look for this to potentially become much more normal if it works for all those people. And that's a big shot, obviously, against college football to lose their stars. But the good thing is, college football, there's 700 people on every roster. There's another stud waiting for it, and that's a big deal.
Do you think most of these Big Ten guys will start doing this because they're just dicking them around back and forth with whether or not they're going to play?
The interesting thing about the Big Ten is their fans are not that loud, like kind of quiet.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, easy going.
Like if something gets, decided upon that they don't agree with, they kind of just laissez-faire. Just kind of
let it go.
Hey, no big deal.
Who cares?
Kevin Warren, you're brand new commissioner of the league or whatever, and you say you don't want to play? You're right, man.
Give the guy a chance.
We won't picket in front of your office.
No.
We won't get fire Kevin Warren trending on Twitter like 6 out of the next 7 days.
Never.
We won't have old Bob Carpenter basically redline your entire
General Bob.
Absolutely not.
We won't do that.
No.
We won't relentlessly assault people's timelines with notifications with tweets telling them that they are dead fucking wrong with the decision they made. That's not what the Big Ten fans do at all. So as I was watching that Central Arkansas Austin Peay game on Saturday night, 2 teams that I didn't really even know existed, couldn't tell you one player, but they were playing college football Saturday night. Lights were on. It was getting called. Golick Jr. and Matt Berry did an incredible job, by the way. I did not know how I would feel about that pairing. I thought they were incredible. Watching that game, I had so much fun. I was like, football's back, baby. My lady's sitting there. She's like, what are we watching? She was like, is this high school football? I was like, I don't know yet. Let me check. Had to Google who they were. Was not, because there was high school football on before that. Loved the action. Loved to hear the helmets banging. I was all the way back. Okay, football is coming back. If Austin Peay in Central Arkansas can do it, damn it, everybody can do it. And then I thought about our friends in the Big Ten. I thought about the fans in the Big Ten that just heard their commissioner tell them football can't happen, can't do it, everybody on the field will get it. And then there's rumors coming out that the presidents, after voting to postpone the season, thought they were going to be heralded as fucking heroes. I mean, I thought about these Big Ten fans watching that game, potentially throwing things through the television while watching the quarterback punt for the P team. I mean, it was just... It was a wild Saturday night, and I couldn't help but just think of the Big Ten fans that are just so pissed off.
Hey, Kevin, I hope you're watching this.
Kevin Warren,
Son of a bitch!
Kevin Warren was just taking it on the shins, I assume. But there is real conversations, I guess, that they're trying to change course and that the Big Ten football is trying to come back. But boy, watching them play, watching high school teams play somehow. By the way, how was high school?
And those high school games looked like they were
packed houses.
Oh, yeah.
Packed
They were
houses.
so loud.
I heard things clanging.
Yeah.
I mean,
Loud cowbell.
how is that happening? I mean, it's just very, very interesting. Very, very.
Big Ten was catching it all Saturday night. Wait until like October or whatever when there's a full slate of ACC and SEC and Big 12 games going. Imagine how bad they're going to feel then. Like,
And a report of no COVID cases coming out. I mean, with the NFL having, 58.3 thousand was the number?
That
And
was
they were
last
all-
week. So
last
it's probably
week,
even
correct?
more than that now. Yeah.
So if they see that, isn't there some sort of thought?
I know
like, hey,
exactly
we're going to be okay?
I know exactly what the profile picture looks like too of the person tweeting right now to the Big Ten about how pissed off they are that we're talking about Austin P and Central Arkansas, and we're not talking about Big Ten teams that could be playing. Is Austin P going to have a recruiting advantage over Big Ten schools because they'll be able to say, we care about football here, unlike the Big Ten. You know the Big Ten, you know what they say to football players? Get the hell out. We don't care.
They don't care.
Every other conference can play. Cincinnati, within the same couple hours of Ohio State, they can play. Pitt, they can play. Penn State, Temple, they can play. Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan, Michigan State, Iowa, Nebraska, Northwestern, Indiana, they fucking hate football.
Nope.
Don't even think
Don't
about
even
it.
Fans don't
think
care enough.
about it.
well, I'm sure we won't bring it up every Monday.
No, we won't do that. Oh, that stinks for the Big Ten. I do feel bad. I really do. Now, granted, Mike McQuarrie at Penn State told me I was not Penn State material, and then,
Hindsight.
you can Google that. Pretty good news.
What happened?
Well, Mike McQuarrie played a pretty large role in a lot of things that happened up there.
Joe knew about something.
Little scandal up there.
So he
forget
wasn't
Joe
even
knew.
his own
But
material.
I was a Big Ten fan. Okay, always a Big Ten fan. I enjoy the pageantry of the Big Ten, especially coming to Indiana. The Big Ten championship games here all the time. Their fans pack out this city. I mean, it is very loyal cults all around the Big
It's
Ten.
a Rust Belt conference.
I respect it. This is gonna be tough. If they don't change course, which everybody's saying they're going to, this is going to be tough for the Big Ten. I mean, it is, and they know it too. And that's why Bob Carpenter's out there fucking, siren in the one if by land, two if by sea.
That's right.
We don't have football. Bob Carpenter will be seen. You know what I mean? I mean, it is a big deal over there. He is sounding the alarm through every Middlesex village and farm. Something.
Could they turn it around in 3 weeks? Like if the ACC is September 26th?
Yeah.
So if they were to come back September 6th, like next week, could they turn it around in that amount of time?
I think
Michigan's
so.
still practicing.
I think they're all
Minnesota,
practicing.
too.
They're all
I think
they all
practicing.
are.
I think they're all practicing. I even after Ohio State's athletic director, Gene
Smith.
came out and was like, we will not go play in any other conferences. We are following the rules because I would assume the president was like, hey, this is what you have to say. Ryan Day or whatever was still like, we are practicing and we will exhaust every option to play. And then even after other schools, their presidents or athletic directors came out and said, we're all on board. We're not doing it. The coaches were still like, we'll see. We'll see what happens whenever boosters stop giving millions of dollars because they're only here to build up sports a little bit, and they're a little pissed off that Austin P and Central Arkansas are playing, and Michigan and Ohio State are not playing. What a predicament up there in Big Ten country.
Yeah, because the report on Friday was the first week would be Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So, is there a chance that the things keep going well? They're like, well, maybe we just start October.
Well,
1st.
I guess there's some rumors now that they're trying to get it by October 11th or something. Like it depends on who you follow on Twitter. A new date will come out from the Big Ten. But boy, they got to be pissed. But these players opting out, this is a big deal because I thought Bosa, whenever he did it and it worked really, really well, and he had like a rookie MVP type season, I thought that was going to kind of open the floodgates for guys that knew they were going to be top 10 picks, maybe instead of leaving early, just a year of prep to get in there. Like, I don't know. I just thought that would happen. But now with the predicaments, it gives these guys a more excuse to be like, listen, I don't want to be a complete dick here, but you know what we're doing. I don't want to do that. I don't want to lock myself in my dorm room. I don't want to take a COVID test every day. I don't want to have to do this. I'm just going to go prep for this thing. And the coach is probably like, well, I wish we could do the same fucking thing.